Hello and welcome to this beginner's introduction to programming. It's designed to be easy for anyone who has never coded before and to show you everyone can code. It shows you and introduces the basic concepts of programming and the component building blocks that are used to construct a program. It's simple. The whole point is, as I said, everyone can write a program. And in this tutorial and video, what we're going to do is create a very graphical little game of a cat and a bear. And just that simple task will show you a lot of the fundamentals of writing code. I hope you enjoy it. It's split into several different clips so that you can watch each one at your speed. And you can go back and repeat each clip as you need to make sure you fully understand what is being introduced. The purpose of this course is to prepare you for moving on to other programming languages, be it JavaScript, Java, Swift, PHP, whatever language you decide to follow. But every principle in this course applies to all modern day languages in common everyday use. Hope you find it useful, hope you enjoy it and have a bit of fun. It's been a lot of fun putting this course together. And look back onto the channels and check all the follow-up links. If you have any questions, please contact us. I'll try to answer as many as I can. Thanks for your time, have fun, see you again soon. The objectives of this are to introduce Scratch, why we use Scratch, the building blocks covered, and a basic principle of event-driven code. We're going to be covering the following building blocks: loops, which is where something is repeated more than one time; conditional flow, which is decision making. If this, then I do this. If not, I do something else. Variables is keeping track of key pieces of information which you can use in other places. You can modify, change and work with to indicate and keep track of various things. I'm going to touch on privacy and scope because Scratch does actually introduce that concept, and it does it quite nicely. And Scratch doesn't really come into the category of packages and classes, but what it does do is shows you the concepts of classes and packaging things up, and in Scratch they're called sprites. It doesn't have a one-to-one direct relationship to classes, but it gives you the idea and gets you thinking for when you come on to other languages such as Java, which is pure object-oriented. I use Scratch. Scratch is a fantastic tool to learn the art and the basic components which are used when writing code. It was developed with children in mind by MIT. It is, however, an excellent tool for people of any age to learn the basics and principles of programming. Here we have a brand new empty project, and this shows you how to load and save your project files so that you don't have to start from the beginning every single time. You can see I've just clicked on save to the computer, which it's done. Now let's put something in there, and we'll save to the computer. No, we'll save as a copy. And you can see that's put it in my projects page, which I believe you have to have an online account and logged in to be able to use that. I've now just saved it to the computer again. Let's clear that down. And now we'll load from the computer. Navigate, select, and there we go. Our project has returned. There we are. We've created a new desktop, and you can see I can pull it back from our project page. Now, we saved it to the project page when there was nothing in it, remember. Here we have a brand new empty scratch project, and as you can see, it gives us various categories of things we can do down the side there. Currently pointing at motion, so that's some interesting little features, and it comes already loaded with a lovely little cat. So let's see what happens if we click on there. It moves smoothly to a random position, exactly as it says. I think we like that one, so let's add that to the project. Yeah, quite like that. Now, what else can I possibly have at the moment? Let's look at events. Strictly speaking, although with only one instruction it doesn't really matter too much, but for good practice you should always define a start. Notice that there, and we're going to tell it when to end and what to do when it ends, which is to stop all. Notice there's a little cutout in the top there, and there's a little tongue on the bottom of the glide, and it also has a flat bottom. You'll see here there's a little cutout and there's a little tongue. The cutouts and the tongues means they can connect to other things, which is what we just did with glide. Start as a curved top, tongue on the bottom, glide as a cutout and a tongue, and stop as a tongue. And you can see each time I'm pressing on start, our lovely little cat decides to go for a short walk. In fact, 1 second walk to be precise, as you can see. You can see we're carrying on from where we left off. And now let's introduce a little look at some of the control things. Control things pretty much do as they say. They control the flow of the program. Now, when we clicked before, the cat only moved one time. So let's put a loop in there to say continue moving. Okay, and when we click on there, it does it once and it stops. Do you know why it stops? Yeah, it's because we left the stop in. See, like that? So we remove that because we don't want it anymore. Forever has got a flat bottom, and now you see quite nicely the cat moves around until we decide to stop it. Now, it might be going a bit quick, so let's add a little sleep. There we go. Cat moves, waits 1 second, and then moves for a second, waits 1 second, and so on. But there are other options there. We might not want to go around forever and ever. And so, how about we do that? Maybe we only want the cat to move 10 times. That's got a little tongue sticking out the bottom of the repeat, so we put a stop on there just to cap it. And maybe 10 is a little bit too much. Let's change it to 3. There we go. 1 movement, 2 movement, 3 movement, and it's finished. So that's illustrated the basic concept of looping around and repeating things again. So we'll move on to the next clip. So here we are, exactly as we left off. I'm thinking it might be interesting if we add another character for the cat to interact with. So if we click down in that little button where the mouse was, choose anything you like. I quite like bear walking. So there we go, we've now got a bear. And if you notice, there he is. And there's cat and the code that is with cat. Notice bear doesn't have any code yet. We haven't written anything for the bear. We have written things for cat. So now let's make it interesting. And we're going to do a decision here. Okay. So, but we haven't told it the rules of the decision yet. So at the moment, all you've got is, I think I'm going to make a decision. Now we can do sensing. And it's got one defined called touching. And so now we're going to say, if the cat, because remember this code is for cat, if cat is touching the bear, glide and wait 1 second. And how about we get the cat to say hello? Now I'm gonna run that, and it won't give the expected result, and anyone can guess why. Have a little think. Nothing's happening. Yeah, I'm trying to run it. Now I can see the reason. Have a little think. Now, I'll make it easier for you, just to make sure you're not thinking, well, the repeat is stopping us. Yeah, it's not, but I'll show you it's not. So I'll get rid of that repeat. Now we'll do a forever, so it can't possibly be that count on repeat. Remember, forever's got a flat bottom, so we don't need a stop. Okay, it still won't work. That's because we've never actually told the cat to move. It only moves if it's touching the bear, which if it isn't, it won't move. So we have to move that glide and that wait outside of the decision. And now you can see it moves around, waits for a second, and then when it touches the bear, it says hello. If you're not certain about this clip, if we cover quite a bit, play it a few times and maybe try a few experiments for yourself, just to make sure you fully understand this concept. Okay, let's finish that clip now, and we move on to the next one. As you can see, we've started from where we left off. Everything exactly the same. Now, instead of just only saying hello to himself, let's make the cat send a message to everyone. Now remember, we haven't written any code yet for bear, but how about we make the bear have a listen. So now the bear is listening for that message 1. Remember, we told cat to send message 1. And let's get the bear to respond. So we'll do a move to random, and remember this is for bear. This is in the bear code because bear is selected. So now when he touches, the bear moves. And again, and the bear moves. And so on. Let's stop that. Now let's introduce a variable. A variable is simply a value of some description. And we've created one called found bear. See? It's good practice to initialize variables, so we say at the beginning of the code, set it to 0. I believe in this language it actually does default to 0 on start, but it's good practice. And so now you see, every time cat touches the bear, he moves, but he also changes the value of found bear. You can see it's currently on 2, the mouse pointer's there. Okay, so let's do something else. Let's make something happen now. So there we go. We're going to say, well, we've got a decision to make here. Now every decision needs an operator, and that's what these are, these green things. Now they must evaluate to be true. So here we've got found bear greater than 50. If it's true, it will execute the code in that little gap. I've changed it to 3 now. So if it's greater than 3, it sets it to 0, and the bear says, or thinks to himself, So watch the counter as things go on. And we're going to add in another move as well. There we go. And we're going to make the bear go for a longer walk this time, every time he's touched. Look at the counter, it's 3. Next time it touches, it will be 4, which is greater than 3. And so if you look at our condition in the if statement, we said if it's greater than 3, then think, reset the counter and move for 3 seconds. So the next time the cat touches the bear, which hopefully will be quite soon. There we go. Hello. Long move. There we go. And see the counter, it's reset to 0. You see up there? It's been touched once. It's got to be twice. There we go. Twice. That's got to be 3. So the next time he's going to get a out him and a long move. There we go, 4, and now it's down to 0. And that pretty much covers what we're going to do here. Again, replay it as many times as you need before moving on to the next clip.